Kevin Walling, Democratic strategist and former Biden campaign surrogate, and Paris Dennard, RNC national spokesperson. Welcome back to both of you.
Hey, Shannon, good to be with you.
Okay, so many things, so many places to start. Let's start with COVID. This is the Politico headline today. It says CDC chief overrules her advisors on COVID-19 boosters. I want to play something from Admiral Brett Drar, who was a member of the task force at one point under the Trump administration. Here's what he says.
The president announces a month ago, before the science or any data, that he's going to have a booster campaign. The science comes out, the scientific community says you don't need it, and the CDC director's doing it anyway. Now, if that's not confusing or smell of politics, I don't know what is. So, of course, this is going to lead to more vaccine hesitancy. Of course, it's going to backfire in certain communities.
Paris, Dr. Walensky said this was a very close scientific call, but she feels good that the evidence is there to back up her decision.
She may feel good about her decision, but the American people are confused. And this is why you see so many people that are vaccine hesitant, because they don't understand what the policy is. They don't know what the science is, because we don't even hear from Dr. Fauci. We don't hear from the COVID-19 task force on a regular basis from the White House podium. They're MIA. But what we have are these political decisions that are being made that are confusing people, and these forced vaccine mandates that are discriminatory, especially to minorities, and are causing people to be even more hesitant. So this administration is failing on every scale when it comes to encouraging the people to have a better understanding about these vaccines that came about because of President Trump's Operation Warp Speed. We had more clarity back then. We had more transparency back then when President Trump was running things. With President Biden, we're unclear.
Well, Kevin, do you think that the administration could be doing a better job on messaging?
Yeah, it's a good question, Shannon. I mean, I think we need more, involvement, obviously, with the CDC, clear guidance. I'd love to see more of the studies released. But obviously, this is happening in real time, right? They're analyzing this in real time. And I think the greatest example for why everyone should get that vaccine is the fact that, unfortunately, in this country, we're still seeing a fairly high death rate with regard to COVID. Now, over 2,000 Americans are dying from this disease. And the vast, vast, vast majority of them are unvaccinated in this country. So if you need empirical evidence, it's right there. And I think the president was very clear from the East Wing today when he talked about and highlighted so many of these stories of Americans who unfortunately have not been vaccinated that are pleading with their fellow countrymen to get the vaccine on their deathbed. So the science is there in terms of the efficacy of the first and second dose, whether it be Pfizer, Moderna, or J&J. And then let's also then obviously get clear guidance from the CDC when it comes to boosters.
Okay, let's talk about the border. This is what the president has said about that image that has gone viral. He says it was horrible. People treated like they did. Horses running over people, being strapped. It's outrageous. I promise these people are going to pay. Wall Street Journal says, well, at last, the Biden administration is furious about tumults on the southern border. Not about the surge of migrants, mind you. The White House is using a single episode to scapegoat law enforcement and deflect criticism from its immigration failure. Kevin, I'll start with you on this one. The photographer says that it's not what people are making it out to be. He was there. He never saw him whip anyone.
Yes, and if there was ever a reason to have comprehensive immigration reform, it's this moment in time. The surge of these migrants across the border, whether they are from Haiti or from other countries, whether it be the Northern Triangle, Mexico, what have you, is a crisis at the border. I'm a Democrat. It is a crisis at the border. We need to surge resources to the border to assist these patrol officers in their task. And it's a horribly difficult task and a lot of pressure that they're under. So we need to obviously treat everyone with human dignity. That's what I believe as a Christian, that these folks coming across the border should be treated with dignity and respect. They're fleeing a horrible situation in Haiti, a coup, an earthquake, COVID rising. So they're desperate individuals. They should be treated with God's grace. But again, we need to protect and support our border officers in this really untenable position.
And all of this is happening as a new Pew Research poll shows us that approval for the president has dropped a lot since April of this year. It now stands at 44%, his disapproval at 53%, Paris.
Yeah, well, it's not just the Pew poll, it's a Morning Consult poll. There's several polls that show a rapid decline in support from the American people, especially minorities. A lot of Democrats are upset with this president as it relates to his handling of or not handling of this border crisis, specifically with the Haitian illegal migrants that are coming over the border. But let's just go back to what you asked about the photo. Let's be very clear. The Biden administration is lying. They are lying about the photo. They're lying about what Border Patrol did. And instead of getting at the truth and figuring out how to solve the crisis that they have created, they're trying to stoke racial tension about a lie about a photo and besmirch the character of the people that are there to protect and serve, which is our Border Patrol. This is just like Kamala Harris, who went out and called ICE agents and likened them to the KKK. This administration has a tendency to attack and besmirch the character of Border Patrol and officers, like defunding the police and not standing up and doing the right thing to protect this country and enforcing our laws. It's just shameful what they're doing as they lie about this photo.
Yeah, and the vast majority of our law enforcement men and women are very selfless. They're going out to do very difficult jobs every day. I think all three of us would agree about that.
Amen,
so
Shannon.
throwing accusations at them needs to be done in a very judicious and careful way, and it needs to be backed up if you're making the allegations. Paris and Kevin, have a great weekend.
You too, Shannon.
Thank
Have
you
a great
so much.
weekend.
You too.